Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have some random dinner recipes I wanted to share with you. Some of these I did share in my weekly vlogs, but I thought it'd just be easier if I throw them all into one video so that way you can find them. These are just really easy recipes. You guys know I like easy. I may not have all the exacting measurements when I'm telling you in the video, so I will have all the recipes linked down below so you can check that out. If there's any substitutions I made in the recipes, I will make note of that in the description box as well. So let's get into the first dinner recipe. I make chili quite often and I make it different all the time. So this is a chili recipe. I also had some of the shishito peppers on the side, which are so good. Okay, to start this chili off, I did ground beef. Sometimes I do bulk ground beef and stew meat, which I do prefer with the stew meat. Anyway, I am adding in some seasoning in there. It's like chili powder and garlic powder, onion powder. Again, I will have the recipe linked down below that I used for this particular recipe. And then I'm adding in some vegetables. So I don't think the recipe I'm linking below shows these same vegetables, but I use zucchini, red bell pepper, green bell pepper, and onion. I like the zucchini because it makes it super chunky. Oh, and also I believe actually I used turkey meat in this. That was not ground beef, this was turkey. So this is a turkey chili. I added in some tomato paste, some Rotel tomatoes, some tomato sauce, and some jalapenos. And these are the tamed ones in the jar. I also added in some beef broth after that, and I used to use the beef bone broth that I get at Walmart. And then I just gave that a good stir, brought it to a boil, and then just let it simmer. And the longer you let it simmer, the more flavor you are going to get out of this chili. These are the shishito peppers. I got these, I think, at Safeway or Fred Meyer. I'm just put some avocado oil on them and also some sea salt or pink Himalayan salt, and I just tossed that around, threw them in the air fryer, and they come out looking like this on the side there. They are they're like sweet. They are really good. Topped my chili off with some cheese, some sour cream, and some more jalapenos. This next recipe is a new one. This is pepper steak. Oh my goodness, you guys, this was so good, except for the ginger. Next time I will leave the ginger out. I know I don't like ginger. I don't know why I add it to recipes, but I do. So I have some steak strips here that I just put some pink salt and some pepper on there. Have some garlic. Have the ginger that I would not recommend if you don't like ginger. And then I have some sugar snap peas, bell pepper. I have a red and yellow and green bell pepper, some sliced up onion, and again, the sugar snap peas. And I'm going to put the vegetables into a skillet with a little bit of avocado oil, and I'm going to go ahead and stir those around until they get nice and tender, and whatever tenderness that you want really on them. I have the garlic and the ginger in there as well. And then I use my new little gadget that I got from Costco, which is this rock. I think it's called the rock, and you just lay it on your stove top, and oh my goodness, look at it. It worked so good. I love this thing. And then when the meat was cooked up, just added it back to the vegetables, and here you go. Isn't that like the easiest meal? You could do this with chicken as well. I think it would be just as good. Plated that up, and here is my pepper steak. I think I do have a recipe for this. I can't remember if I just threw it together or if I actually used a recipe. This next dinner is one of my faves. I've made it before. These are chicken meatballs, Parmesan chicken meatballs, and it is as good as I remember. It's been so long since I've had them. Had it with the side salad here, as you can see. So in my bowl here, I do have some grated Parmesan, some ground chicken. I have some Worcestershire, however you say that, onion powder, Italian herbs, and then also some garlic, which you can see there, but I didn't show you the jar. And once you mix all that together, form the meatballs, you just throw them in the oven, cook them until they're all cooked through. I used this Rayo's sauce for the first time. I liked it. Not as good as the Thrive Market, in my opinion. Poured a little bit in there, added in those meatballs that had already been cooked in the oven. So I cooked them, I believe, I don't know the temperature, I think 375 for about 25 minutes. And then topping that with some cheese. I'm using the whole milk mozzarella cheese for this, and also some finely shredded Parmesan cheese, and I'm going to put that on top of the meatballs, and then this is going to go back into the oven really just for about 10 minutes, just enough time for the cheese to melt since everything else is cooked, and to heat up the sauce that was not heated up. And then you're going to have this ooey gooey deliciousness. Look at that. I love the look of melted cheese. It is so good. And like I said, I just served that up with, I think I had 3 or 4 meatballs there, served it up with a side salad, and this is so filling. And again, that Rayo sauce, it's good. It definitely is good. I found it at Grocery Outlet for $3.99. That's the only reason why I picked it up. I just like the Thrive Market keto-friendly marinara sauce better. This day I had my low carb taco casserole. I mixed it up. So I know I've shared this in a What's for Dinner video before, but I did it a little bit different this time. So I thought I would show you this little twist on it. So I have my usual onions, bell pepper mixture here. So I used yellow and green. The cauliflower rice I always thaw out first, have the ground beef going. This is what I did different. I added in a can of diced tomatoes. I used the Rotel, which is my favorite diced tomato mixture, and I mixed that in. Now, this original recipe calls for tomato sauce, which I usually leave out because I think it's too tomato-y, but these Rotel tomatoes added such a nice flavor to it, and it just wasn't the perfect combination, and I will do it this way, I think, from here on out. So you put your cauliflower layer, flatten it all out because I have to do that. Add your ground beef, which I did add some of my homemade taco seasoning to. So that went on the next layer, and then you're going to have your layer of cheese, of course. I used Colby Jack cheese, but then I also used some of the hot pepper cheese that I found at Fred Meyer a few weeks ago. So that went on top of that as well. And then that is going to go into the oven. Everything is cooked at this point, so you're really just melting the cheese. So it's about 15 minutes, and then you get this. And then this is your base, so you can top it with whatever you want. So I always top it with some lettuce, some guacamole. So this is what you do. You put a little bit in your bowl, and then put your toppings. So I have lettuce, guacamole, some pico de gallo. I have some jalapenos, some sour cream, and there you go. It is just really good. Highly recommend. This next dinner is some keto sloppy joes. These turned out so good. I've made keto sloppy joes before, but it's been a long time. I had mine on a smart bun. So you're going to start this recipe off with, of course, cutting up all your veggies. So you have an orange bell pepper, green bell pepper, onion. Use whatever bell peppers you want. This is just my combination. Put it into a skillet with some avocado oil, and you want to cook those veggies up really, really good unless you like them a little chunky. I always add in a little bit of garlic to it, so you're just going to cook that up, and then you're going to add in your ground beef. So I have the ground beef there, and you're just going to cook all that up until it is, no more pink. I'm going to add, of course, some salt and pepper to that, and I also add in garlic powder and onion powder just because I like to have a lot of seasonings. Then you're going to add in a 1/4 cup of tomato paste, and then we're going to add in, what is that? Oh, brown sugar. That's what that is. But it's a Lakanto brown sugar. And then you want to add in 2 teaspoons of red wine vinegar, 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce, and then you're going to add in a cup of broth, and I just used the beef bone broth. Again, this recipe will be linked down below, so I may be off on those measurements. You're going to add all that in there, and then this part of it, you bring it to a boil, and then you're going to put your lid on it, and you're going to simmer it for quite a bit. I think I simmered it for about 20 minutes or so, and that way it just became really super thick. The longer you simmer it for, the thicker it gets. So I just like to simmer it, and plus the flavors, whenever you cook anything from scratch with spices, you want the flavors to really melt together. Again, I had this on a Smart Baking Company Sesame Smart Bun, which I highly recommend to toast those. I think they taste much better. And a side of broccoli. As always, thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to watch my video. And as always, I am constantly compiling lots of dinner recipes that I will share with you every couple of weeks. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.